I'm gonna read a little bit from something that I wrote yesterday, and then today I only wrote like a few sentences. I kind of wanted to talk more than anything. On January 4th, 2023 at 16:38. Mercury Day. Have you ever heard electricity, like radio static in your head? I can't make out what you're saying to me, but I know it's important. I can definitely feel you in the areas where my listening skills fall short, my comprehension of it all, because even when I don't fully get it, I'm still getting it. I understand. That's all I can say as of lately. Why it is the way it is, was, but not anymore, not here, not now. I see all the layers for you. That's my blessing and my curse, my duty and my part. You played it so well. Pushing these bitches off me like flies, it'll get away from me. I know I chose you, but I'm done with you now. I said it's over. I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Yesterday was quite interesting. This is today's entry. Yesterday was quite interesting. Feels like I jumped timelines and dropped some dead weight. After I made a decision, it was as if the reality I'm experiencing here was restructured. Like I put a hole in the shit and they had to call maintenance to come do some handiwork. Then people started spawning out of nowhere. A whole new level I'm reaching. A whole new level that I'm at. It's been a lot going on, as always. Like, even when it is, simple, mundane, it still is a lot because of that level of consciousness I try to bring into everything, that level of presence. Some family things that I needed to tend to. And one of the other videos that I have posted, I briefly talked about having that conversation with my mom, telling her how I'm not gonna continue going to school. And she had came up here having a conversation about what I'm doing and just how I'm moving through life. And obviously, like, as a parent, you have them trying to convince you to go the ways that they think that you should go, and wanting the best for you, knowing the best for you, and saying, like, that's... Anyway, so we were having that conversation, and I was standing real firm in what it was that I believed in, what it was that I felt, and what I am. I was standing very firm in all of that and being very truthful, but it was being met with a lot of resistance. I tried to go about it in the ways where I felt like would bring no conflict, but I mean, it's always going to be conflict when you're speaking your truth. Always going to be some level of resistance. Maybe not so much with yourself, with others, but with others it's also going to be like some part of yourself. It got to a point where the conversation wasn't really productive. Like, I knew what I was saying was going in one ear and out the other. And I do have a tendency to, when it comes to arguing, I very much like to prove that I'm right instead of just letting it be what it is. And I did have an argument for everything that she said to me. And she had pointed that out, and I was just like, I understand. And that was my cue to just shut the fuck up, because I was like, I understand fully. Even if it's the kind of understanding where it's like, this is just not gonna go anywhere. It's done. After our conversation, it was like little comments here and there, still trying to, the best way I can explain how I see it is that she's that voice of reason for me, that person that was put in my path to kind of keep me going down this route. Like, if I was weak-minded enough, I would be like, yeah, what you're saying, I hear you. Okay, I guess I'll do that. But that's not me. That's never been me. And we had went to breakfast, and it was with one of my friends, and we were all talking, and I forgot how we got on the topic of my childhood, how I was as a child, but my mom was like, yeah, did she ever tell you the story that when she was 3, we were staying in an apartment, me, my mom, and my older brother, who was 3 years older than me, so I'm 3, he's 6, and she was saying that she told us to go to bed, and I guess I wasn't listening, and she spanked me, and whenever she went to her room, she thought that we were asleep. Went to her room, went to go take a shower. I had got out the house and was just walking around the apartment complex, and my grandma, who also lived in the complex, had just seen me walking past the park and took me back to the place, came inside, and was like, where's your mom? And my mom was like, how did she get in here? Like, the door was locked. How did I get out? Yeah, basically, a lot of the times when something isn't going the way that I want, or I'm not getting what I want, I'm gonna take that shit. Just rebellious in every way, since the very beginning. When people try to restrict me, it only makes me want to do it even more and do it even louder, be even crazier with it. That's just how I am. Like, if you tell me now, my question is gonna be why. I question everything, always. And I'm not gonna go that route just because somebody tells me I should go that route. So I've always been like this. It's not any surprise. It's only, shown itself in different forms, different situations, different circumstances. I had my moments where I complied because it was kind of like when it came to fighting for certain things like that and being rebellious, I was rebellious but was faced with a lot of like repercussion as well. I lived in a house where I was very fearful of my parents, but it was still like that underlying part of me that was very much like, fuck all this shit. So it would come out when I wanted it to come out. If I was like, is this really worth it? Do I really feel like fighting for it? And if I felt like fighting for it, I did it. Ran away a lot of times. I got suspended from school. I, was smoking. I was doing drugs. I was drinking. I was sneaking out the house. I was sneaking people in. I was doing a lot of things. And it was kind of like two very distinct sides of me. The one that's like very quiet and sits down and does what she's told. And then the one that's like pure chaos. Like, just fuck all this shit. I want to do it, and I want to do it my way, and I want to do it now. She came through with the flip of a switch. Like, I would have screaming matches with my parents. They would be breaking my shit. I'm breaking their shit. Like, so with that being said, the way I see it is she's kind of been placed as that. She is my mother, and I do kind of see her that way. But honestly, if I'm being for real, taking my emotions out of my journey and seeing everything for what it is, truly, I don't really feel like I owe her anything and she owes me anything. You are exactly who I needed you to be, and I'm exactly who you needed me to be. And I feel that she is just another thing to keep me layered and confined. And then yesterday, after she left, she texted me when she made it home, and then she was like, I'm hoping and I'm praying you take my advice and whatever. Mama knows best. That's what she said. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, mama does know best, but like, I'm my own mom. I am my mom. I was kind of like, do I say something? Because I wanted to say something. Because it's like, at this point, I feel like you're pressing my buttons. Because I said what I said, and I feel like that should be that. Yeah, like, I'm trying to do it nicely, and you're not letting me do it nicely. You really want that bitch to come out, I'm gonna let her fucking come out. While I was thinking about saying what it was that I wanted to say, I was laying there. I was at the park, and I was with my friend, and I'm just like sitting in these feelings, feeling the sensations in my body and stuff. It's getting dark real fast. And my friend, she was playing with these bugs that were outside, and she had said something, and I was like, what was it that you just said? And she was like, unravel. And I was like, if you say so. So I said some words. I kept wanting to stop certain things from coming out or being like, no, I shouldn't say it that way. That's too harsh. But I was like, no, now you got to go even harder. So I was just saying whatever. All she had to say was, I understand. I understand. That's all you can say. I understand. Because you're seeing it now. I understand. Okay, that's what it is. And it was like after that, open my eyes. I'm looking around. Everything's different. Ever-changing unity. Literally, shit just keep changing forms. They're not going to stop till she's at her breaking point and starts getting reckless and wreaking havoc on you. But if that's what y'all want, I can be that. Just kind of wanted to take note of that. I really just wanted to talk about her saying unravel, because that was really like intervention divine, divine intervention. Unravel, oh baby. Keep walking in love, keep speaking your truth, and being all that you are, no matter how many things try to hinder you, no matter how many things try to place itself on top of you. And know that, like, it might not be pretty, it might not be, ideal, but it's what's needed. It's what they're asking for. They want the truth, you gonna show them the truth. They want real, show them real. You try to play it nicely, you try to have a good heart, and you try to be what other people want you to be. You gonna fall short, fall on your face every time. Only when you stand up and truly recognize all that you are, all your power, is when shit gonna shake. And shit do shake. It shake for real.